When someone is placed at the head of an influential organisation, they must be held to account. When that organisation has repeatedly failed those it claims to represent, the need to scrutinise becomes a duty few are willing to undertake. I have been campaigning for the NHS since 2012 and have on occasion been subjected to accusations and attacks. This does not deter me, as what I am fighting for is much more important than me, any organisation or political party. My patients who have suffered avoidable harm and death as a result of the privatisation are my driving force. I make no apology for examining what has been said and criticising organisations which are failing patients, professionals and society. My recent video deconstructing a speech given by Dr. Chan Nagpal, CBE, Chair of the BMA, at a Health Campaigns Together conference has been met with a derision and personal attack. These posts on Twitter and Facebook were scathing of me as they were vociferous in their defence of Dr. Nagpal. They are of course welcome to express their opinion about the content of his speech and counter my analysis. Instead, they resort to ad hominem attacks on me while questioning my motives. Aside from developing a cogent argument, there is no more effective way of discrediting a position than to cast doubt on the integrity of those who adopt it. One post in particular illustrates the tone and intention of these attacks. Some of you may have seen on the Keep Our NHS Public KONP Facebook page. This was posted supposedly on behalf of the executive of KONP. I have been blocked from the page and I was not tagged into the post, preventing me from seeing or responding to it directly. The post asserts that my video was an unpleasant and politically wrong personal attack aimed at Dr. Chan Nagpal. On the contrary, my intention was to expose the hypocrisy of the organisation he represents as the chair of the BMA. The KONP executive statement provides no evidence to counter my arguments. They state that the very strength of his address to the conference has been wholly turned inside out in a very dishonest way by Bob Gill. Gill's thinking is based on his belief that some campaigners for the NHS are plants from the dark side supported by the US privatisation lobby. They have merely attempted to discredit me as a conspiracy theorist. This tried and tested method of shutting people up is as old as controlled opposition itself.
One of the tools that we used and is often used by industry is the creation of front groups. Certainly the insurance industry made use of them during the healthcare reform debate. Other industries use them all the time. They essentially are purporting to be grassroots organizations, but they are, another term for them is astroturf, because they are not grassroots. They're fake grassroots organizations. But they're cast as, or the industry wants people to believe that citizens actually came together to create these groups and that these groups represent the interests of regular folks. Nothing can be further from the truth, but they take a lot of care to name them with names that would make people think that they were legitimate. One in particular that we used during the healthcare reform debate was Healthcare America.
Whether wittingly or not, the BMA's lack of action in tackling deprofessionalisation, fragmentation of the NHS, the 2012 Health and Social Care Act, and now the 5-year forward view, is allowing the privatisation to progress unchecked. As an organisation, they failed to support whistleblowers, yet another vital barrier to protecting patients from the excesses of the failures of marketisation. I will leave it to you to decide whether this is deliberate or not. Regardless, the effect is to facilitate the destruction of the NHS. The post then goes on to question my knowledge and understanding, and on that, each of us who cares about the NHS has a duty to arm ourselves with as much knowledge as possible. In that respect, we are all works in progress. More harmfully, they suggest that only those involved with organised campaigns can be considered to possess integrity. Such unwarranted attacks are beyond the pale for honest campaigners. They can originate from voices choosing to stand outside the alliance of hard-working, trustworthy campaigners of integrity who have chosen a different route to strive to work together on the principled platform agreed in common to fight to save the NHS. Such isolation can breed sectarianism. This is precisely the type of autocratic mindset which seeks to shut down debate and accountability, choosing dogma over reason and analysis. This is not about me. I don't mind being criticised. In fact, it allows me to develop arguments and present the case for the NHS. I welcome those who wish to challenge me with rational, fact-based arguments. As members of society, of the BMA, or the medical and allied professions, we have a right to question those in positions of influence, especially when they promote policies against the public interest, such as the sustainability and transformation plans, which will shrink and deform our NHS to suit American private health insurers with global ambitions. Sometimes, and this appears to be one of those occasions, their reaction and the reaction of their supporters to criticism says a lot more than the content of their speeches. This supposed KONP executive Facebook post smeared me, I was blocked from the page, and now the offending post has been deleted. For the vast majority of KONP HCT members who are genuine NHS campaigners who want to fight for the NHS, you need to start to question what leaders of these groups are doing in your name. Please share this post, support our film, The Great NHS Heist, and help us get the truth out despite the vexatious challenges. Thank you.